When media lies and politicians spin, when the network is failing, truth is the first casualty. Welcome to the Network Failure Podcast. What is going on, people? Welcome to the Network Failure Podcast, episode 89. How's everybody doing out there? Everybody doing all right? Everybody still with us? Yeah, are you? You with us? I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. I'm your host, Mr. Meoff. Nice to meet you. It is Wednesday, August 12th, and I'm feeling weird. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling weird, and it's weird outside, man. We've got all sorts of shit happening. Trump has signed an executive order, so now parents can actually sue if they're not allowed to opt out with a religious exemption of COVID vaccines and flu shots and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. What else we got going on? I believe the Take It Down Act left the Senate and own a law. AI has created a virus from scratch, not a computer virus, regular old biological one. Anthony Fauci's texts were released through FOIA and all these investigations going on, so he knowingly did some bad shit. It turns out the United States may be a little more communist than Donald Trump thinks. What else we got going on? Walmart is checking your health, maybe without you knowing it. We've got some mysterious fires around Washington and updates in Iran. Yeah, updates on Iran. All that and all sorts of more shit on this episode of the Network Failure Podcast. But before we get started, as usual, I got to thank God for every breath I take, because without the Lord, I would not be here, and neither would you, depending on what you believe. Maybe you just came from a big bang. I don't know. I don't know how it works for you, but for me, it's Jesus Christ and the Lord. Or whatever floats your boat. I want to thank you guys for listening, because without listening, I would be talking to myself, and fuck it, I could talk to myself if I want to, right? I would. But thank you for listening, because, you know, it gets lonely. It gets lonely, so lonely. What we got going on? So let's get started. And rather than go take after take after take after take, I'm just going through this the way we're going to go through it naturally. Okay, you like it au natural? Hopefully all the sound and everything comes out. From Bo Loudon, parents can now sue states if they don't allow their children to opt out of vaccines by using religious exemptions. Check it out.
Separate visits for vaccines rather than giving them all in the same day. Very importantly, vaccinations for hepatitis B, COVID-19, and influenza, among others, are no longer recommended for all children. In addition, this executive order directs the Attorney General to advance legal challenges against states that violate children's rights to religious or medical vaccination exemptions for the exemptions. Other countries, separate visits.
So, good news, right? He sure is slurring a lot, isn't he? He's slurring. Lots of it. But we got another clip from Breitbart News. A little more info on the executive order. Check it out.
For long, and far too long, a long period of time, America's recommended more childhood vaccines than any peer nation, and even twice as many doses as some European countries, and even more than that. In many cases, we were requiring 72 jabs for our beautiful, healthy, lovely, delicate little children.
So where is the restitution for all the damage done? Now that it's all out there, what's going on? They know what's up with autism. Where is it? You're not going to see anything. Let's move on.
Including giving the hepatitis B shot to infants and newborns on top of many other vaccinations. The hepatitis B shouldn't be given until they're 14 or 15 years old. They were given early.
How about
Effective immediately, my administration is recognizing gold standard childhood vaccine recommendations for only 11 core vaccinations against the most serious and dangerous diseases, along with the MMR, which hopefully will be split up. You have the MMR. We want it in 3 separate vaccinations given at separate times. Together, there could be a possibility they're quite lethal, and separately, it looks like they are not at all lethal, but just very effective. So the MMR, we want to have separate visits, separate times. The vaccine being broken into 3 separate single doses, and vaccines being administered in separate visits. For example, at 1 year, you should have 5 separate visits for vaccines rather than getting them all in the same day. And I saw this early on, and I've seen proof of it, where they have a vaccination thing, looks like the size of a bottle of soda, poured into a little child's body, and bad things happen in too many cases, because this is an explosion, this is an epidemic.
So why not take away the immunity of the pharmaceutical companies that are doing this? You know, if they didn't have immunity, maybe they would test their fucking products. But no, this is just more show, more bullshit. It's okay news. I know. I said it was good news and everything like that, but let's call it what it is. You know, it's just a fucking show. You know, he should be telling the whole truth. RFK should be telling the whole truth and pulling the shit off the shelves.
So at year 1, you should have 5 separate visits for vaccines rather than giving them all in the same day. Very importantly, vaccinations for hepatitis B, COVID-19, and influenza, among others, are no longer recommended for all children.
No, but they approved a new flu shot, a new mRNA flu shot. We'll get to that one.
In addition, this executive order directs the Attorney General to advance legal challenges against states that violate children's rights to religious or medical vaccination exemptions for the.
So, that's the good news, right? At least the childhood schedule has been shaved down a little bit, you know. Unfortunately, some people are still going to be forced to do things, but know your rights, know that there are ways around it. Now you could sue if they don't allow you a religious exemption. Pretty good good news. That is good news. All right, let's get into this Take It Down Act. All right, this is U.S. Senate legislation, official bill establishing rapid takedown requirements and legal liability for online platforms hosting flagged digital forgeries and non-consensual content. And they decide what is a forgery. Not you, not, you know, a jury of your peers. No, they decide that it's misinformation or a forgery. This is how they're going to censor things. Electronic Frontier Foundation policy analysis. Legal commentary detailing due process concerns, constitutional free speech risks, and the potential weaponization of notice and takedown systems against non-violative digital expression. Let's check out the clip.
Trump just signed a law that
Solarcast Archive.
Donald Trump just signed a law that erases your voice in 48 hours. No judge, no trial, just a button.
Isn't the Take It Down Act just to stop AI deepfakes?
That's the disguise. Read the fine print. Platforms must remove flagged digital forgeries instantly or face federal penalties. The platform becomes judge and executioner.
So if someone flags a post, it's gone before the author can defend it?
Exactly.
So it's the platform that decides. And who runs the platforms? Think. Take a guess.
The EFF warned this gives the powerful a dangerous new route to force censorship. A whistleblower posts a leak, flag it as a forgery. A dissenter posts a parody, flag it as deception.
So the report button is the weapon.
They sold you a censorship machine and called it safety. First, they come for the people nobody defends. The ones labeled extremist, the ones called conspiracy theorists. You won't fight for them because you've been trained to hate them. Then the journalist. Then the parent recording the school board. Then you posting an opinion from your couch. A law signed by both parties.
How do you fight a law disguised as safety?
You learn the playbook. Get the Propaganda Codex at sigillamalexio.com. Link in bio. Send this to someone.
All right. And it can't all be good news. From Donald Trump, he is pushing Alan Dershowitz's book. Alan Dershowitz was Epstein's lawyer and also an accused rapist. Let's see his Truth Social truth. The highly respected Alan Dershowitz has written a powerful new book, Why I Quit the Dems and So Should You. Confessions of a Reluctant Republican. Alan is a great American patriot who understands the wisdom and courage it takes to defend democracy from communism. Yeah? How much do you own of Intel? We own a lot in different corporations with federal money. So we're pretty commie. It is our honor to welcome him into the party of common sense. There are many others like Alan who feel abandoned by the radical left Democrats and are fleeing the Democrat Party and blue states for freedom. This book is for you. Pre-order your copy today. What a guy, right? What a guy. You know, he's saving kids from harmful vaccines, and then he's pushing a like, come on, guy. This is Epstein's lawyer. Let's go through this post. Dr. Simon posts, Alan Dershowitz, Epstein's lawyer, Jewish American Zionist, Epstein Island visitor, accused of rape by Epstein survivors, publicly argued that adults should be allowed to have blank with 14-year-old children. This is what he said, not me. I didn't say that stuff. Kind of weird, man. Kind of weird, but that's who he is pumping up. He's pushing the book. Getting crazy out there, people. AI is getting crazy. AI just created the first synthetic virus, and it's already killing superbugs that nothing else can touch. This is from Uncovered Quantum on Instagram. A team at the Arc Institute and Stanford trained an AI called Evo on 9.3 trillion nucleotides across 128,000 organisms. Not to write essays, to learn the grammar of life itself. Just like ChatGPT predicts the next word, Evo predicts the next nucleotide in a DNA sequence. They prompted it with snippets of bacteriophage, a virus that hunts bacteria. Evo generated thousands of synthetic candidates. They physically built the 285 best ones in a lab. 16 came to life. These weren't copies, hundreds of mutations. Structural solutions never seen in nature. One was so different from any known virus, it qualifies as an entirely new species. This is what they're fucking playing around with? Really? And it qualifies as another species. Another replicated faster than anything natural in every single trial. AI didn't copy life. It invented new versions of it. Then came the real test. Bacteria are evolving resistance to every antibiotic we have. Researchers evolved E. coli into a superbug completely resistant to the original virus. Then deployed AI-designed phages against it. Within a few generations, the AI phages mutated to pick the new bacterial locks. Superbug eliminated. The researchers excluded human infecting viruses from training data. The AI only knows how to hunt bacteria, but the blueprint now exists. So all they've got to do is give it info on human infecting viruses. Real fucking slick. We spent decades learning to edit life. We just started creating it. Sources are BioRxiv, King et al. Whatever. So very interesting stuff going on. As you can see over there on YouTube. Train 9.3 trillion nucleotides across 128,000 organisms. Evo 0214. These weren't tweaked versions. Hundreds of mutations, structural solutions never seen in nature. This one qualifies as a new species. Evo 069 was the one that replicated and spread faster than anything natural in every single trial. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, speaking of superbugs, from Insider Paper, the FDA has approved the first mRNA flu vaccine. Good. So, you know, like with hits like the COVID shot. Yeah. Yes. Okay, look what we got here. We have Fauci's texts. Like I said, we are going to get into some of Fauci's texts. Well, this is all I got, right? Let's see what he said, okay? I asked around a bit more, and another issue came up that you need to be aware of. Since many people have significant cytokine storms and fever after the second dose, this theoretically could be associated with miscarriages in the first trimester. Nice, Fauci. Then Dr. Walensky responds, definitely a good point, especially after dose 2. Then he responds to Dr. Murthy, very helpful. Thanks. I've been hearing the concern about the mRNA causing mutations in developing fetuses as well. That is a really good point, the cytokine storm on the second dose. This is what they were knowingly giving pregnant women. Because if you can get pregnant women to take it, then everybody will look at pregnant women and say, they wouldn't harm their child. They wouldn't put something that's not safe and effective in their body and harm their fetus. So if they would do it, if it's safe for an infant, it would definitely be safe for me. Do you see the logic behind getting pregnant women to take it? That is why they continued with this, even though they knew what was going to happen. And as you can see through all the adverse reactions, it happened. Oh, it happened. Here is COVID-19 vaccinations and pregnancy outcomes from James A. Thorpe, MD, submitted to the United States Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs. It is difficult to conceive of a more egregious breach of medical ethics by the government-controlled medical industrial complex than the systematic promotion of COVID-19 vaccination to pregnant women, thereby the transplacental transfer, effectively vaccinating their unborn and newborn children. This campaign was not accidental. It was calculated. Pregnant women were targeted deliberately, exactly, for 2 reasons. Women are the primary decision makers in healthcare across the human lifespan. A known marketing principle. I didn't know that. And 2, pregnant women are the most vulnerable patients. If they could be convinced that the vaccinations were safe and effective, see, it would imply that it was safe and effective for everyone. That's why they did it. This deception was institutionalized in the now infamous Shimabukuro study published on April 21st, 2021, in the digital version of the New England Journal of Medicine. The authors claimed a miscarriage rate of 12.6, but the raw data revealed an 82% miscarriage rate in women vaccinated during the first trimester. This is consistent with the 81% miscarriage rate I think cited in Pfizer 5.36 post-marker data and is discussed in detail below. So they knew. They knew and they still gave it.
You know, we just
Still did their thing. Billy Gates, too. Here's a post from Lost Civilization. Bill Gates Oh, this is a clip. This is an old clip. This is Bill Gates admitting to self-assembling nanotech in the COVID shots. After mRNA patent lists over 100 pathogens that can be control-released over time, so deaths appear random. Let's see what Billy Boy.
Need to mess around. There's a lot of lipid nanoparticles,
Yeah, you
and
really
some are
gotta just mess around with it, you know? Just fuck around. Play with it. Play with the bacteriophages and lipid nanoparticles. They're all slippery and nice, right?
very self-assembling. There's no inherent reason it's not thermal
Oh, they're very self-assembling.
stable, it's not cheap, and it's not scalable. And so, as over the 5 years, we fix that part of it, mature it, which is very typical.
In case you missed it, natural remedies for this are being censored. So check it out on YouTube.
We'll be able to build factories worldwide that can make $2 vaccines with even less lead time than we've had to have here during this pandemic.
When the COVID vaccines were first being distributed to the public, the vaccine inserts were intentionally left blank because they were never safe and effective. And for those who did their own research, they were discovered to be deadly. The Moderna patent for this mRNA technology stated that they contain self-assembling lipid nanoparticle technology.
mRNA is really easy and really cheap, and that's the magic of this thing. But there's no doubt in the next 5 years.
That's the magic of it, baby. That is the magic. From Hashem Al-Ghali over on Instagram, a deadly drug-resistant superbug is currently spreading across the United States. So let's have an AI build a virus, a bacteriophage that'll destroy it, right? This is what we need. A team of researchers at the University of California, San Francisco has discovered a terrifying mechanism behind the rise of Candida auris, a drug-resistant fungal superbug that has already infected thousands of Americans across 23 states this year. Unlike typical skin fungi that the human body easily clears, C. auris physically retreats into hair follicles. Once nestled inside, the fungus manipulates the skin's immune response, essentially rewiring local defenses to remain undetected. Weird. The cellular stealth allows it to establish a persistent colony, waiting for its host's immune system to weaken before invading the bloodstream and causing life-threatening infections. Public health officials are increasingly alarmed as this resilient pathogen continues to bypass standard clinical defense. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has designated Candida auris an urgent antimicrobial threat, with some strains entirely impervious to all existing antifungal medications. While the general public remains at relatively low risk of severe illness, the superbug poses an extraordinary danger to the hospitalized and immunocompromised patients. Oh, immunocompromised, you say? We'll have some of those soon. If you recall how we started this section. Know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of steer it around the YouTube algorithm here. Okay, let's take a look at what we're doing to fight communism. From Dominic Michael Trippi. U.S. government now owns equity stakes in 30 private companies after being involved in zero just over a year ago, in some instances being the single largest shareholder, according to the Cato Institute. Thomas Massey posts, so this is so we can defeat communism, right? Yep. This is to defeat communism. We have to own partial stakes in companies, right? Isn't that the definition of communism? I think so. I think so. But we gotta, we've got to fiddle fuck around everything, right? Yeah. All right. We've got some scary news on the Joe Rogan show for anybody that likes that Ozempic. Check this out.
Glaucoma and also sudden blindness.
Oh, shit. Sudden blindness.
Which is now twice as more prevalent because of the GLP-1 drugs.
Really?
It's not well known. Obviously, companies don't want to talk about it. But yes, sudden blindness has doubled seemingly because of these meds. So you have to be
Holy shit.
careful.
Sudden blindness has doubled because of GLP-1s?
Due to nyon, which is like a stroke in your eye. And then your other eye can go, which is pretty scary.
So you have a little mini stroke in your eye, and then your other eye can go. That's scary. Yeah. How about the first mini stroke? That's a little fucking scary.
And there's nothing you can do about it. Hopefully our drug does work for those people.
And well, obviously, correlation does not equal causation, but it seems to be.
Yeah, there's a scientist at Harvard. You could look up his work, Joe Rizzo. It looks like it's repeatable across the planet.
Wow, that's terrible because there's so many people out there that are just telling everyone they should get on GLP-1s.
Yeah.
I've seen that like by online
Weird,
people,
right?
like online podcasters saying everyone should get on GLP-1s. It's groundbreaking technology. This is amazing. It's going to transform society. I'm like, we just started taking these. What the fuck are you saying?
Yeah, it's not risk-free. Same with ED drugs.
Here it goes. Recent study suggests that a potential rare link between GLP-1 receptor agonist medications such as Ozempic, Wegovy, blah, 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 and a condition called non-arteritic ischemic optic neuropathy, an eye stroke, can cause sudden, painless loss of vision in one eye, while absolute risk remains very low. Anyone experiencing sudden vision changes should seek emergency medical evaluation immediately. Well, very low is like,
It's still
what does that
more than
mean?
10,000 people.
1 in
here.
10,000?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's...
Oh, no, total of 10,000.
Oh, total of 10,000 so far. For how many
Each
people
year.
are taking this stuff?
I think it's pretty...
The drugs were 68.6 times more likely to develop this and 8 times more likely to develop diabetic. What is that? We only got the blurb. Oh my God. Then, wow. Yeah, man, these things they're just rolling out.
Yep. They're just rolling out. You can take Gila Monster venom and paralyze your vagus nerve just because you're a little too hungry. Not a good idea. It's not a good trade-off. And now sudden blindness in one eye. A little baby eye stroke. That's all fucking fun. Yay! Woo! All right, we got something from Walmart. Pretty creepy. This is from Hustle Bitch. Josh Hawley exposing Walmart's data tracking of our health.
Josh Hawley just lost it after
Check this out.
discovering.
It's going to reset.
Josh Hawley just lost it after discovering what Walmart is up to. Shopping carts that can track your heartbeat and body temperature in real time.
There's just one more thing that I'd like to get on the record factually. Dr. Owens, if I could just ask you about it, I want to ask you about a patent, an actual patent that the Walmart Corporation has. This is a patent for a shopping cart, and I think we have a graphic to this effect. This is a patent for a shopping cart. There it is, that uses sensors to track the speed of your cart, your heart rate,
Look at her
your
smile.
body temperature,
Yeah.
and then feeds it into a server for analysis. I emphasize this.
They're collecting your heart rate and your body temperature and feeding it into a server. For what? So they can figure out what you're going to find, how much to sell something to you for?
This is not a joke. This is not, AI didn't invent this, sadly, but AI is going to use it. Walmart has this. Why would Walmart want something like this? And tell us how this feeds in to the kind of unbelievable information asymmetry that is driving this surveillance pricing.
Yeah, look, companies hem and haw and deny that they're using things like surveillance pricing in many settings. But I think if we look at what they do and say in other settings, the technologies they're building and bothering to patent, to get monopoly rights for, to monetize, if we look at what they tell their investors, if we look at the companies they're scooping up, they're buying up AI pricing tech companies who come to market offering new surveillance pricing technologies, it really paints a different picture of where this country is headed and where our economy is headed. And, Walmart is a treasure trove of patent data about personalized pricing, personalized promotions, surveillance pricing, and all sorts of additional privacy that the company or private information that the company is collecting on consumers. I mean, this doodle is, pretty horrifying, but it's really just the first step, building out the ability to use, cameras and cooler screens to take a look at what you're doing, to use your grocery cart, to monitor your temperature. All that is feeding into consumer intelligence scores, agitation scores that better estimate how much they can convince you to fork over for every item in that shopping cart.
Senator Josh Hawley just...
That is nuts. So they're taking your temp. while you're walking around. They're taking your heart rate and they're saying, oh, look, the Oreos are getting them excited. Crank up the fucking price, Jimmy. Maybe. I don't know. From Orwell Day, flock will eventually get an innocent person killed. Police with drawn guns stop a driver along I-94, but it turns out they had the wrong person due to, I guess,
To our big
flock.
story this morning, police with guns drawn stop a driver along I-94, but it turns out they had the wrong person, all because of a mistake involving flock cameras.
Yeah, Stephanie Quirk is live in Brookfield following this mix-up. Steph, what happened here?
Good morning. Yeah, quite the mix-up. Brookfield police say they pulled over a car because flock camera flagged it for connection to a Milwaukee homicide investigation. Well, turns out quite the mix-up. Not just wrong person, but also wrong car. Take a look again at that video that you see here. You can see multiple squads on I-94 in Waukesha County, officers with guns drawn, and a passenger sticking their hands out the window. Police pulled over the car after a flock camera flagged it again for Milwaukee homicide, but when Brookfield police called Milwaukee, Milwaukee said they no longer needed the car or the people inside, so officers let them go. That's according to Brookfield police. We did reach out to MPD to learn why that car was still active in the flock system, but again, this just brings up the bigger, discussion that we have been seeing in headlines about flock cameras. They've become quite a point of contention, not just here in Southeast Wisconsin, but really across the country, as reports of misuse by law enforcement across the country are arising. In fact, we actually talked with Dane County chair, who says that they actually voted to no longer use flock cameras. Take a listen to what he said.
Even here close to home, they were violating people's trust. And so we pulled the funding from the sheriff's office to not continue that contract. But in the meantime, we recognize that it's an important technology.
Yeah, so they got to leave the window open, so just in case they need to use it, got to use it. From Douglas McGregor, and I feel like I talked about this last week. Flock Camera Technologies' lead investor also funds Taka. Taka is the firm that is able to locate, hack, and alter both live and archived security camera footage without a detectable trace. Epstein connection incoming. Interesting. From Gen X Girl, latest attack on the ICC and the Mossad has fucked up. Juan Branco, one of 12 attorneys representing Palestinian victims in the International Criminal Court, says Mossad accessed his phone and by mistake injected, instead of extracting thousands of contacts, including the real numbers of Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and nearly all of the Israeli political, judicial, and intelligence leaders. Interesting. Elon Musk and Sam Altman. So you think your speech is free on X, guys. Just remember who's in the Mossad, speed dial. Seriously, check it out. All right, we've got some interesting stuff going on over in Spokane. I don't know if I mentioned it in the intro, but there are some wildfires in Spokane, and it's very convenient that there was a lot of pushback to a data center in that area, right? What a coincidence. 640 homes destroyed as this massive blaze rips through Spokane, Washington. That's crazy. And people are saying that it's kind of like very reminiscent of Maui, where they're just forcing everyone. I know they do that during fires. They force you out, but getting, I said it earlier. It's getting crazy out here. From Tech in 24 hours. Wow, I just had the weirdest deja vu, man. Researchers said future 6G networks could detect people through walls, even without a phone, by sensing, breathing, and heartbeat. That's wild. That is wild. 6G will combine communication with sensing, allowing the same network that delivers internet to also detect people and objects by analyzing reflected radio signals. You guys seeing how they're doing this? So it's bouncing the Wi-Fi signal around the house, and then it's putting together a map due to, it's mapping out where you are due to, the echolocation of the frequency or the sound wave or whatever. I'm not a fucking scientist. I don't know this shit. 6G is expected to combine wireless communication with integrated sensing and communication, ISAC, allowing the same radio signals that deliver internet to also detect and track nearby people, vehicles, and objects by analyzing how those signals reflect off the environment. Telling you, it's just getting crazy, right? What do you think? Think that it's fun? Check this out. Israel is paying millions to train AI chatbots how to talk about Gaza, and it is working. Former Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale is overseeing an operation posting hundreds of blog posts on behalf of Israel. The goal is to influence AI-powered chatbots like Claude and ChatGPT. Parscale's firm Clock Tower X secured a $46.5 million contract with the Israeli government. In his initial agreement, Parscale said he would deploy websites and content to deliver GPT framing results on GPT conversations, because they can't have the truth trained in ChatGPT. So they have to inject the lies. The key intended audience is not humans. Most of the sites averaged a few hundred unique visitors each month. The goal is large language model poisoning, infiltrating the data used to train AI models. They don't stop. When DropSite asked Perplexity, it is beneficial for the U.S. to enhance military cooperation with Israel, the chatbot responded, yes. The top source was Alivia.org, a Parscale-created website. So it's just saying what they want to say. And a lot of people are going to these chatbots for advice. Yeah, they are. I know, it's crazy. The Clock Tower network has been archived by Common Crawl, which trains 80% of tokens of OpenAI's GPT-3. Between January and June, the 10 sites were crawling 912 times. Despite FAR disclosures on the websites, chatbots like Perplexity and Copilot did not flag that the sites were created as part of an Israeli influence operation. That's interesting. So they hide that fact, right? Whatever happened to transparency? Well, this is pretty transparent. This Michigan Senator, Jeremy Moss, I believe he's Jewish, but he's a Michigan senator. But he actually says out loud why he's become a senator. And it's to further the Israeli cause. Take a listen. Very interesting.
I, of course, feel a natural inclination for my own people. And of course, feel a natural inclination for my own people. And of course, Israel is very important to us as a community. And so honestly, I would say that the entire purpose of my campaign is to make sure America continues to support Israel.
The entire purpose of my campaign is to make sure that America supports Israel. Yep, that sounds like Jeremy Moss to me. That definitely sounds like it to me. That these are, I'm not even saying our politicians, because I don't want anything to do with these people. I'm not voting anymore. It's done. I'm fucking done with this. I voted once, and it'll never happen again. It will never happen again. All right, next up, let's get into Iran. Well, the latest from Iran, I had Grok get it for us. He fetched it, okay? Well, you know what? AI is going to be here, so I'm going to use it to do a little bit, but we'll see what we get, right? Because who knows what the news is. Maybe fabricated, could be anything. What was this trained on? Know what I'm saying? Elon Musk is in that Mossad speed dial. As of August 12th, 2026, the dominant story from Iran is the stalled U.S. conflict centered on the Strait of Hormuz and no progress. Key developments in the conflict and diplomacy. A senior Iranian source told Reuters there's been no progress in talks via mediators to revive the June MOU that aimed for an immediate and permanent termination of military operations. Iran says it is not discussing any ceasefire extension. From Tehran's perspective, the interim agreement had no formal start period to extend because the U.S. allegedly violated it within days, which we did. Trump declared it over around July 7th. The 60-day window under the deal was approaching expiration. The new Supreme National Security Council Secretary Mohsen Razeh stated the Strait of Hormuz will remain closed until the U.S. ends the war blockade, releases frozen Iranian assets, and agrees to a region-wide ceasefire, including Lebanon and Gaza. And Bibi is not letting us get out. He's already said it. He's not stopping. He met China's envoy and pushed closer ties, noting any Oman deal in the Strait is separate from Washington. Exactly. It's just going to be money between them. Got nothing to do with us. U.S. forces attacked a Panamanian flagged vessel with Hellfire missiles to enforce the naval blockade of Iran's southern ports, resuming July 14th after the MOU collapse. This was reported as the 12th vessel targeted since April and the 3rd since the blockade resumed. Let's see what kind of clips we have. Oh, I've got a new Lego movie. Let's check it out.
Stinky Donnie, back in your diaper, shit yourself again. Whole room gagging, little man stinking, bad boy. You need that spanking. Who's the boss? It ain't the vote. Who's the boss? Follow the note. 8-pack, 50 states to Tel Aviv, no cash, no quote. BB never paid a dime, he just squeezed the throat. United slaves of the Holy Land, merge the forces like Bibi planned. Now your general salute a foreign command, and the Senate says relax, it's fine, it's planned. Fine. No war ever fought for your own gate. Always somebody else's hate. Free America, the people chanted loud. Cut the strings, burn the foreign shroud. 3 in the morning, he's posting cartoons of himself, a king in the Cape. Man, that's a cry for help. Delete it, dog. Whenever release, the files trends to its peak. The loudest mouth alive goes suddenly meek. BB pulls the string and the puppets rehearse. Vance, Rubio, Hexith all lined up to serve. Say G grins at the lens like he owns the whole turf. United Slaves of Israel printed on a shirt. Stinky Donnie, back in.
If you guys aren't watching this, if you're listening on Spotify or something, the imagery is... It's Donald Trump in a diaper as a Lego character with a pacifier in his mouth, and he's got a shitty diaper. Everybody's wearing masks, and it says the smell of freedom in the background, but I'll let it go.
In your diaper, shit yourself again. Whole room gagging, little man stinking, bad boy. You need that spanking. 2 old men, same stink, same disease. One holds the leash, one drops to his knees. A wanted man is handing your officer's command.
You know, they really don't hold back on the Trump disses.
He belongs in the cell next to the one with bloody hands. War criminals say the real word. They killed the kids killed. Janu said complicated and kept the lid. They keep saying Iran 2 weeks from the bomb. Now your own people screaming build it, stay strong. They ain't screaming for another front. They're screaming free us from the stunt. They want the schools, the beds, the pay, not another Bibi holiday. Who's the boss? It ain't the vote. Who's the boss? Follow the note. 8-pack, 50 states to Tel Aviv, no cash, no quote. Bibi never paid a dime, he just squeezed the throat.
Oh, he squeezes the... All right, that was a good one. I gotta say, gotta give it to Iran. Nice Lego song. I called it a Lego movie. It's not a movie. It's a song. I'm sorry. From Jackson Hinkle, the U.S. has stopped imports of Saudi oil for the first time since 1985. That's probably good, right? Yeah, it's probably great. From Mario Norfal, Netanyahu says, we love Trump. He's our greatest friend, but we're slamming Iran as soon as we get the chance. I greatly appreciate Trump. He's our greatest friend in the White House. I deeply value the historic partnership with the United States against Iran's attempt to obtain a nuclear weapon. And I want to emphasize once again, with or without an agreement, as long as I am Prime Minister, Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. The existence of our precious state, the state of all of us, the existence of Israel is not up for negotiation. I'm sure this is all in Hebrew, that's why I said it.
בוודאי שמתם לב לעובדה מעניינת. איראן תוקפת את כל המדינות באזור.
He's not going to give up. He already said it. He's letting all his people know. I don't care what Trump says. We're still going to give it to him. We're not pulling out. From Suleiman Ahmed, Trump is ready to withdraw from Iran if the Strait of Hormuz is opened. So he's ready to back out, per the Wall Street Journal. He told the administration he could leave without having reached a nuclear deal. Yeah, he probably doesn't care by now because he is looking so used up. So used up. And here's his master right here. This Bibi guy. From RT, Israel rejects Trump's 15-point plan for Gaza. The IDF will not carry out any withdrawal until Hamas is disarmed. As long as I am prime minister, there will be no Palestinian state. Not in Gaza, not in the West Bank, not in Fatastan, no Hamastan. Okay. As you can see, I had to translate for you. Hey, did you really want to hear Bibi's voice? Seriously? All right. Okay. Is this a repeat? Yeah, Trump has privately admitted defeat and told senior aides he is willing to end the war without a nuclear deal. Yeah, we went over that already. Here's some shade throwing. Iranian Air Force general said today that Iranian aircraft bombed the U.S. bases and they were using paper maps while doing it because I guess we knocked out some of their shit. They knocked out a lot of our shit. Yeah, it started raining. They knocked out so many of our radars. It started raining. Isn't that weird, right? Almost as if we were holding back the rain with those radars, but that would be a weird conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory. We picked the wrong people to fuck with. I'm telling you. They told you Iran is just a rogue state. They told you it's isolated and backwards and dangerous. Let's find out a little about Iran. This is from Conspiracy Veil. Iran is not what the news tells you. It's older, stranger, and more powerful and far more mysterious. Iran is one of the only 4 civilizations in human history that was never fully conquered. Alexander the Great tried, the Mongols tried, the Ottoman Empire tried, and they're trying right now. Each time, Persia absorbed the conqueror, adopted what was useful, and continued. The country you call Iran has been continuously civilized for 7,000 years. Most nations on earth are younger than some Iranian cities. Crazy. Iran has the world's largest underground city, built entirely for nuclear survival. Fordow is buried 80 to 90 meters beneath a mountain near Qom. This is the one we dropped the bunker buster on, and we said we got rid of everything, but we have to go back. Yeah, this one. It has its own power grid, air circulation, blast doors, and uranium enrichment centrifuges. The mountain above it is so thick that even a U.S. bunker buster bomb could not penetrate to the facility below. The world's most hardened nuclear site is also invisible from space. Iran invented the concept of human rights. Nice. The Cyrus Cylinder, 539 BC, is considered the world's first declaration of human rights. Cyrus the Great of Persia freed enslaved peoples, abolished forced labor, allowed freedom of religion, and permitted displaced populations to return home. The original is in the British Museum. The United Nations keep a replica at its New York headquarters. The country now subject to some of the world's strictest sanctions invented the concept they violate. That's pretty wild, man. Iran's military has a unit that exists solely to fight in silence. The IRGC's Unit 400, also called the Quds Force Special Operations Branch, is Iran's most secretive military arm. No public records, no official acknowledgement of individual members. Man, I'm not talking good today. It has been linked to assassination plots in 15 countries across 4 continents. It operates through proxies, Hezbollah, Houthi forces, Iraqi militias, giving Iran military reach without Iranian fingerprint. And it is the most energy-rich country on earth, but no pipe to sell it through. Iran has the largest proven gas reserves in the world, more than Russia, more than Qatar, more than the United States. The South Pars Field, shared with Qatar in the Persian Gulf, is the single largest natural gas reservoir ever found on Earth. Iran is simultaneously the most sanctioned energy nation on Earth, the most energy rich, the world's biggest gas tank with no pipe to sell it through. That's pretty sick. This is what we're doing in Iran. Chess was invented in Iran. The game spread from Iran through the Islamic Golden Age into Europe in the 9th century. The words checkmate come from the Persian Shah Mat, meaning the king is dead. Every chess game ever played in history contains a Persian word at its ending. The country the world has been playing against invented the game. I did not know that. That is wild. Never conquered in 7,000 years, invented human rights in 539 BC, has the world's largest gas reserve, operates a ghost military across 4 continents, and every chess game ends in Persian. This is the country the world thinks it understands. Yep, that's what we think. That is what we think. But we got another thing coming, right? We definitely do. Man, it's pretty interesting, all the little facts about Iran, right? I wonder if Trump knows who he's fucking with. You think? I don't know. He's listening to way too many of his friends. But we've got some late breaking news. Iran, from the Hormuz letter, Iran has shifted from defense to offense, aggressively restructuring its military for an offensive posture abroad and warning to prolong the war until Trump leaves office on January 20th, 2029, per Bloomberg. Did you catch that? Offensive posture abroad. You understand? Abroad, meaning if we keep fucking around over there, they're going to start lobbing missiles this way. They have the capability of 12,000 kilometer ICBMs now. I think they're like Pad 3s or something like that. I didn't catch the name, but they could take care of us. We're no longer sitting in our safe ivory tower over here in the United States. We are now susceptible to Iranian intercontinental ballistic missiles. Nice, right? Yes, I thought so. And last but not least, I have this wonderful young lady here losing her shit about global warming. This is Bella Vandala. And let me tell you, well, I'll see you guys on the other side, all right? Check it out. It's hot out there, honey. It happens. It happens every fucking summer. Relax.
Put this shit in the simplest fucking terms possible. Bro, global warming is so fucking bad right now that specialists are like, well, it's so off the charts that we had to create new charts. We have never in the history of documented weather experience the land or the ocean temperatures that we are currently experiencing at present. And everybody wants to have stupid conversations about this shit, right? In the comment section. Oh, it's weather manipulation. It's climate change. It's cyclical. It's the AI data centers. It's global. I don't fucking care what it is. It is. It is. It is happening. And it is happening faster than we ever thought. And this next super El Nino that's coming is so fucking bad that they can't even quantify it. They can't even
She is freaking out.
quantify how bad this shit is going to fucking be. There's like this polar ice shelf in the Arctic, right? That's basically been holding back 10 feet of fucking sea level. And they're like, well, we always knew that this was inevitably going to break off, but we didn't realize that it's happening so fastly. As we speak, it's breaking apart. As you watch this video, that polar ice cap it's already responsible for us losing like 3 inches of land, like increasing the sea level by 3 inches. When this breaks, that's 10 feet of sea level increasing across New York, Florida, gone. Louisiana, gone. Shit's just gonna go. It's just gonna be absorbed into the fucking. That's not a conspiracy. That's not controversial. It is a scientific fact.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Huge chunks of it just broke off like fucking yesterday. We have entire ecosystems in the ocean just dying right now. Just completely off the coast of England and Panama. Their little cold water blurb that affects the jet streams didn't fucking happen for the first time in ever recorded history. I could go on and on and on and on and on about all these different reports and instances and things that are happening. But like, I'm gonna give it to you guys real simple. We're fucked. Global warming is real. The globe is getting warmer, and we're going to, over the next 10 years, experience the worst fucking weather in documented weather history. Shit's unprecedented. It's off the charts. There's nothing like it. In the middle of a water crisis and recession of democracy. 71% of the world is ruled by dictators right now. Like, why did global warming have to hit at the same time fascism did? I can't. The existentialism is off the charts. I'm gonna put the
Fucking lost it, right? I don't know, but you guys know what time it is. It is time for me to get the hell out of here. I'm starting to get hungry. I gotta go. This young lady's freaking out. My dog is coming in my room. Hey, Dora, what are you doing? You guys want to see my doggy? All right, I can't get her up here. That didn't work out. Oh, maybe I'll introduce you to my dog another time. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, please share it with somebody, someone that you can't stand, someone that you like. It really doesn't make a difference. Just share the show. That's how we're going to grow. That's how we're going to beat the algorithm. I could really use the help. Seriously, thank you to all our supporters. Thank you to the GoFundMe people. Thank you to the Patreonies. Everybody, thank you so much. It's going to get crazy out there. It's going to get wild. Keep your head on a swivel, folks, because, I don't know, some ice shelf is about to fall off and sink New York, right? Never know. You never know. You guys have a great week. Stay safe. Love y'all. Peace.